Hi, you're welcome to this live stream today. I mean, there is this huge saying that all men were born equal. So I guess if we follow that logic, we can also say all weekends are equal. But my brothers and sisters, I'm telling you today that this weekend is not an equal weekend. This weekend is different from every other weekend that we're going to witness because this one there are events happening all over the world, from Wembley to Riyadh to Newark in the United States. There are very interesting things happening. And today we're just here to preview it. And there is no other person to preview this huge, huge weekend with me than my friend and brother, Demola King from King Dem's podcast. Welcome, Demola. How are you doing?
Hello, brother. I'm good. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm super excited for this weekend. And by the way, there's no such thing as equality. Equality is a myth. Equality is a myth, my brother.
I'm telling you,
Wow.
bro.
This
Um,
weekend is massive. I don't know where to start
yeah,
from.
well, I mean, exactly. That's the dilemma we had. We were just, discussing. So, where should we start from? Where do you think? Where do you think we're going to start from this weekend?
Wow. Let us start from anywhere we wish to start from. Like our people like to say, as the spirit leads, as the spirit leads. Wow. Let me see. I just realized that I'm not streaming to the Kingdom's platform. So let me quickly put
Yeah,
this so
yeah,
we have
sure,
like a wider audience. Wow.
sure. Please,
Now,
please, please go ahead.
speaking of, you don't know where to start from. I'm like, I want to type in something on the title. I'm like, do I say boxing? Do I say UFC? Do I say Champions League final? Massive. Okay, so let's say,
Yeah,
give,
I'm
give, give,
telling you.
give me guidance. Give me guidance. Give me guidance. What's the title you
Honestly,
advertise it
you know,
on Instagram?
sometimes you have these weekends where you just want to sit back and enjoy. I'm telling you, bro. Tomorrow, I just want to sit back and enjoy. Right? I just want to sit back, enjoy the build up to the fights, the build up to the match. Just this morning, actually, I passed through Wembley because, as you know, I stay close to Wembley, and I saw some Dortmund fans. I saw some Dortmund fans around that area, and I was like, yes, yes, this
What,
is
what, what,
this
what,
is.
what are they doing?
But
Dortmund.
let's start. Or do you want to stream first? Do you want to get on first before we start?
Yeah, I think that would be cool. So let me
Okay, okay.
stream to YouTube and subscribe to Facebook. Preview. I think there's an error in trying to stream.
Wait,
In trying to stream to
no, wait.
YouTube. Um,
Is that what it's saying? I mean, we've
yeah,
we've
that
done that before, haven't we?
yes, we have, and
Yeah,
maybe I'll leave the stream and join
yeah, yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Let me
okay.
share my screen.
I think with
Uh,
the link, yeah, what you need to do is to add the Yeah, just to copy on the whatever. I've forgotten how to do it. Or from that link, you can share to your own channel.
I'm sharing my screen right now.
Yes, no, I'm the one sharing. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, you want to share? Yeah. Oh, okay.
America, wait a moment, then try again. Okay, I'm going to get off the stream and rejoin.
Don't work. Yeah, welcome back, Kingdoms. There seems to be something blocking your. Are you there? Seems to be something blocking your camera. Anyway, we're just going to move on to. I mean, this card, this UFC card, it's actually very interesting. There are some good fights on this card. Starting from the prelims or early prelims, there's really no names here that rings a bell. Um, you know, straight up. But if you come to the prelims, you have somebody like Jelton Almeida, who just until recently just fought with I think it was Curtis Blades, and people were hyping him up to be the next big thing in the heavyweight division, and he had that setback against I think it was Curtis Blades, and as we all know, he's back into the prelims. There's Grant Dawson and Joe Solecki. There's Phil Rowe and Jake Martin. I mean, all in all, I think is a good fight card. But I think we're going to be previewing the main card because we still have a lot to do, a lot to talk about today. So we're going to be previewing the main card. Can you hear me, Demola? Hi, Demola. Can you hear me? Hi, Dems. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. I can't hear you. Demola, you are on the stage actually. You're on the stage, but you should be able to hear me because I added you. So let me remove you and add you back. Yeah, I've added you back now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Demola? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I
Oh
can. I
yeah.
can hear you very well, bro. Yeah. What? I don't
Boom.
know what's. I don't know what's going.
Te-
I don't know what's going on today.
technology is crazy, right? So I had to switch
Yeah. Yeah, because you've been on
Edge
the
to
stage
Chrome.
actually for a while. But anyway,
Yeah.
welcome back. So I've been through the entire card and I've talked about the early prelims and the prelims as well.
Whoa.
No, but
Whoa.
I didn't really sort of go into detail. I just obviously we're here to preview the
Don't
main
go into
card.
no details.
No. We're
Main
here to
card.
preview the
Okay.
main card. So I mean, so all in all,
UFC
what will you
202.
rate this card?
Wow. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd
Yeah.
I rate this card a 7.5. I'll see. I
Hey,
hope that's not
bro,
too high.
easy rated this card 9.5. Easy
Wow.
rated this card 9.5. Yeah.
9.5.
I mean, on his channel, yeah, watch. Yeah.
He's
I
my
don't know.
guy, but I don't have to agree with him all the time. I'll give it. I was struggling with giving it an 8, but I'll give it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
give it an 8.
All right.
9.5. I think
Well,
that is too. That is too high. Come on.
too
9.5 is
generous.
for cards that
Mm,
are. Yeah, that's too generous, my man. Come on. 9.5 is for like crazy cards, like memorable cards.
okay.
You know the interesting thing. The interesting thing is like right
Mm,
now I'm rating it 8, but after it gets to deliver, right, the rating
mm-hmm.
might increase. It's more like the preview and the post view. You get it. Just like UFC 300. Before UFC 300,
Yeah.
I felt like it was a 9, but after
Mm,
the event, I easily just give it a
it,
10.
it 10. Yeah, it
I could
happens like
possibly
that
give it
sometimes.
11 over
Sometimes,
10.
and trust me, bro, sometimes these cards that are underrated in a way are the ones
Mm-hmm.
that deliver most. They're the ones that at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, wow,
A lot
what
of
a fight,
times.
what an event. So
Yeah.
let's just jump straight into it, bro. Let's jump straight into it. Um,
Into the main card.
so I mean, the first fight on the main event, Randy Brown is someone that is well known to us. If you've been following MMA and UFC, he's someone that is quite well
Randy
known.
Brown.
He's been around for a while, and I think he's won his last. So in his last 7 fights, he's 6-1. So 6-1. That's a pretty decent, pretty good record. And
Yeah,
he's up
quite
against the
decent. And
Brazilian. Yeah. So what do you think of this one?
his last loss was in Australia, right? And that was to
So,
JDM, Jack Della Maddalena.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We we know Jack we know Jack Della is I don't know what to say, but he is top of
He's
the
a
food
solid
chain
guy.
in that welterweight division, right? So no,
Mm.
there's no shame in losing to such a person. It
Yeah,
reminds me of it reminds me of something one defender said. He was like he knew it was time for him to retire when he was up against Messi. Messi was just like an 18-year-old at the time, and this guy was in his late 30s, and he felt like,
yeah.
oh, with the speed of this small boy, like I think it's high time for me to
No
retire.
way.
And then he later said something. He said, if he had known that that boy was going to be the almighty Messi, right, he would have still some more years. Because there's no shame, in being beaten by world-class athletes. So that being said, I think he has that edge. He is a really, really solid guy. He has the momentum of, the winning streak. Look at what he did against Muslim Salikov. A lot of people are very scared of the Russian guys, right? And then
Yeah,
he proved himself against one of them. So I think he's solid. But make no mistake, the Brazilian guy as well is not a pushover. Like
yeah.
he's
I
had
mean,
wins, one draw. But then if MMA
yeah.
math is a thing, right? He lost to Muslim Salikov. But Randy Brown beats Muslim Salikov. So
I mean,
if you're to do
Eliseo.
MMA math, yeah. What did you say?
Yeah. So the guy, Eliseo Zelensky dos Santos, he's
That
got a
name is
bad
familiar.
record, 24 7
Yeah.
and 1.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like funny enough, Randy has the advantage on many aspects of the fight. Uh, he's taller, 6'3" against 5'11" of Dos Santos, and then he has a higher reach. He has a 5-inch reach advantage, which is significant. And as well a 4.5-inch leg reach advantage. So Randy is longer than this guy. So it's a situation where, okay, is it a situation? Are we gonna see a KO in this one? You know, are we
Mm.
gonna see a KO in this one? What do you think in this one? Uh,
I
how
think
does
I
this fight
think I
end?
think I think it's going to be a striking battle because we know Randy Brown, he's that stand-up guy. But these
Mm,
the Santos, right? He's a capoeira guy. He's got that capoeira background, and we know that capoeira is a really flashy, striking style. So that being said, I feel like we are likely to see a stand-up battle, but
mm,
the edge lies with Randy Brown. He's got this. Um, I think he should have the reach advantage, and he's this lanky, tall guy that has that has this advantage of long limbs. So
mm.
when somebody has when somebody has a longer limbs, right? It just takes one moment of inattention for you to get clipped. So I think
Yeah,
Randy Brown has that
yeah. I
advantage.
mean,
If
so
you
you're
see
going
somebody
with
being knocked out. Mhm.
I go with Randy Brown in this one as well. I don't think we should waste too much
Wow.
time on this one. To be fair,
Wow.
I
Why?
don't
Come
I
on,
don't think
support your Brazilian brother.
I don't think
Sup-
we should waste too much time.
Support your
So there's a
Brazilian
comment here.
brother.
I just tell you,
Okay.
there's a comment here. Fadel Labadi, you're welcome. I guess you're streaming from chat with the tycoon. You're welcome to the stream. You've asked us how much time till the events begin. I mean, there are 30 events,
How
so it
about
depends
time?
on the one you're talking about. Which event
I'm
are
telling
you
you,
referring to, Fadel? Just let us
three in one. He choke.
let us know in the comment section. But the one I'm pretty sure the Champions League match between Dortmund and Madrid is happening at 8 p.m. UK time, so BST, 8 p.m. And yeah, the other ones, I think the one in Riyadh starts at around 7:30 p.m. from Riyadh, And I think in
TNT
New
plus
York,
one.
the UFC 302 starts around 11:30 p.m. I think, all UK time, by the way. I don't know where you're chatting from, so yeah. So let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one pretty quick. Nico Price. I mean, I know these two guys. I don't know how
Nico
familiar you are with these
Price.
two guys.
Ah,
Nico
come
Price
on, I,
against Alex Morono. I mean, these are two interesting guys. To be fair, Morono is the Price here is the dog. Price no, Morono is the dog in this. Wait, what am I reading? Yeah, Nico Price is the underdog in this one, plus 215 odds against Alex Morono, who is the favorite in this one. What do you think, King Dems?
so I feel like these two guys, right? If you were to Google search reckless fighting, I think you see a picture of both of these guys, especially Nico Price. Jeez, that guy is reckless. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
the disadvantage with Nico Price right now is the fact that he's riding on a two fights, losing streak. Right, he lost to Philip Roy, he lost to Robbie Lawler, and Robbie Lawler is, on his way out. He's
Yeah,
quite old.
yeah. He
It's,
was the
it's,
guy
it's,
that
you know,
Mobirona knocked back out in his last fight. Yeah. I
yeah.
remember.
Uh, Robbie Lawler
Oh,
was on his way out, and he basically used this guy to to ride into the sunset. Right, his last win was against Alex Oliveira, and that was way back in 2021. Wow. And
mm,
then before that, he lost to Michel Pereira, the Capoeira guy. So
mm.
that being said, I won't I won't be riding with this man, right? I can't. So if you were to put a gun to my head or tell me to put my money on somebody, I would be going with Alex Morono, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I respect streaks. I respect streaks, right? Two fights losing streak, and then Alex Morono is building his
And
record on the win
Moreno as
column a bit.
well. To be honest, yeah,
He
Moreno is
he
only
won the
only on
last
one
fight.
fight win streak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and he's been
against I think it
alternating.
was is it AJ
He beat
Mikey something Mikey.
yeah,
Yeah,
he caught McGee. He beat Caught McGee.
yeah,
Right, he lost to Joaquin Buckley. So when you look at the strength of schedule, Joaquin Buckley is the top of the food chain guy, right? So
yeah,
there's no shame in losing to that kind of person. And he pushed him to decision. It wasn't like, oh, it was a KO or something, right? So it was a unanimous decision. He went the whole 3 rounds with him. Before that, he beat Tim Means, right? And
yeah.
before the Tim Means fight, his fight was with Santiago Ponzinibbio. We know that Argentine guy. He's a monster, and he lost to him. But before he lost to Santiago Ponzinibbio, he was on like a 4-fight win streak. He beat Matthew Semmelsberger, he beat Mickey Gall, he beat David Zawada, he beat Donald Cerrone. Right, we all know Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, those are
Cowboy.
real last starts.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, so when you look at the strength of schedule, this guy has been fighting, you know, top level fighters. And the two losses that have punctuated his streak have been against
Hmm.
top top 10
Yeah,
opposition in the world.
yeah,
So with that being said, I think this guy is, he's a top dog, and I am riding with him.
yeah. I honestly, there's nothing to sort of argue about that one. I think it's pretty straightforward in this one. I agree with you. I think Alex Morono is a tough dude. He's a badass. He's been around for a while as well. You were just reading out his stats there. So there's no point in sort of going around it again. Yeah, I also pick Alex Morono probably to actually TKO this guy. Um, or even submit him. That's my prediction for that one. the very second fight on this main card, from Newark in the United States of America. Let's move on. Let's move on to the third one. Let's move on to the third fight on this card. So we've got our man, Kevin the Big Mouth Holland. Record 25
Basket
11
mouth.
and 0. Basket 25
That was
11
a
and
basket
0.
mouth in the
And
UFC.
against Michal Oleksiejczuk. And I mean, Kevin is a
Only J-check.
big favorite in this one. Oleksiejczuk, yeah.
The Polish Polish tongue twister. Only J-check. Mikhail only
Yeah,
J-check. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what do you think about this one. I mean, first of all, I think Kevin is in a bit of
Who are you
a
riding
pop.
with?
Is it
Who are
purple
you
patch that
riding
they
with?
call it at this point? Honestly, this is 50-50. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is 50-50. I can just sit here now and tell you, oh, I think Kevin will win. But honestly, I'm going to be lying if I say I'm very confident about that pick, because I'm not. Kevin has lost
But
his last two fights. He's on a
if
losing
somebody put a
streak.
gun to your head, if someone put a gun to your head and asked you, like, make a pick for me, who would you be going with?
Then I'll go with Kevin Holland. I'll go with Kevin Holland.
Why Kevin Holland?
If it comes down to that, I'll go with Kevin Holland. But
So
yeah, it's really a 50-50 fight, because their records are very similar. So in the last 5 fights, Kevin has had 2 losses in his last 2 wins in his last 5 and lost 3, while this guy has
mhm,
had 3 wins and 2 losses in his last fight. So
mhm.
these 2 inconsistent guys, really, and you can't really say that. Yeah, you can't really say that you're confident picking. Yes, Kevin has the name in terms of, people know, he's sort of well known in UFC and all that. We
It's a
saw how
popular guy.
Michael MVP sort of picked him apart in the last one, just kept him at range and used that very weird style, very weird character style to sort of just pick Kevin apart. And Kevin was confused all through the fight. He looked lost in there. He looked like, he
MVP.
literally went to school.
He was
MVP
in the
literally
MVP show.
took him to school in that fight. So
But, but,
yeah,
but off topic,
yeah.
right? Sorry.
Mhm.
MVP's next fight is actually against Ian Gary. Who
Yeah,
who who would
yeah.
you be riding with in that fight? MVP or Ian Gary?
Honestly, I just got an interview with Mark Bisping on his channel, was interviewing MVP, and he seemed pretty confident about that one. He seemed like saying he wants to teach Ian Gary a lesson, and he's gonna school him, and he's gonna give him his first he's gonna be the one to remove that O in his record, which is
That's always
interesting.
who has got to go.
MVP is 37.
Mhm.
MVP is 37. Honestly speaking, as much as I don't like Ian Gary due to his antics, if I'm to pick, I'm gonna have to pick Ian Gary in that fight. As much as I don't like his antics and everything, yeah, I think he wins the fight. You know.
I'm riding with the MVP.
Yeah, yeah, interesting.
I'm riding with MVP.
Interesting. We'll see how that pans out. So who wins this fight? Holland versus Mikhail. Who wins?
Holland versus Mikhail. Wow, this is a fight wherein your head is telling you something, but your heart is telling you another thing, right?
Hmm.
So if I were to follow my heart, I will go for Kevin Holland, right? But if I were to follow my head, right, I would probably go for Mikhail Oleksiejczuk because he's the more serious fighter, right? When you look at their styles,
Yeah.
he's all about business. Like, let me come here, let
Hmm.
me fight, let me go home, right? But Kevin Holland wants to entertain, right? And
Yeah.
he's not about, you know, putting up a streak, to go into a title contention or win the belt. Nah, he just wants to, entertain, make money, make the fame, and be chilled.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes, mid fight, right? Sometimes Kevin Holland can sometimes give up on himself mid fight. We saw that in the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight, right? He had the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to take the fight to the ground, right? But he was basically playing with that fight. It's MMA, but you're trying to create a stand-up situation. And
Remember,
at times
they said
when
sorry, they had an agreement that they weren't going to take it to the ground, so that was why. He forgot that it's MMA.
rega-
Oh, you're right. It's MMA. Yeah,
regard,
they had
yeah,
an
regardless of the
agreement
agreement,
pre-fight that it was going to be a stand-up. Yeah, yeah.
uh, regardless
Just for
of the agreement,
context. Mm,
yeah, regardless of the agreement, you see that if it were Wonderboy that took him down, he will keep him there. You get it.
yeah,
So forget about that agreement. Okay, even in the Hamzat fight, right? Like the moment Hamzat took him down, he was struggling, but like at some point, you just realized that he got confused and gave up that fight.
yeah,
So that being said, I'm not very very confident that if Mikhail takes him into deep waters, if he would want
yeah.
to bring out that dog in him, right? But
Mm.
in terms of styles, the way they match up, right? I think I would want to go for Kevin Holland. Uh, I would want to
All
go
right.
for Kevin
Yeah, I
Holland.
mean,
My pick,
interesting take.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah, this one. I mean, I just brought up this stat right now just to sort of give some insight.
Some
So,
context.
in terms of KO, this guy has more KO percentage than Kevin Holland, but Holland, ironically, has more sub. The probability of him subbing, more sub percentage than.
What do you
So,
expect? Kevin Holland is a black belt jiu-jitsu practitioner.
well,
A lot of people do not realize that. A lot of people do not realize that. Remember his fight against Jacare de Souza, right?
yeah.
See the way he dominated Jacare and he knocked out Jacare off being on his back. So Kevin Holland
Mm,
is highly talented, but if he were to just, put himself together and, take the fight game more seriously, I feel like he had that potential to, make a run to the title. But I don't think age is on his side any longer. So I guess he just wants to, make the
yeah,
money and make the
yeah,
name and, ride out into the sunset.
yeah. It's a mindset thing, isn't it? I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I mean, not to. Obviously, he's a fighter, and I mean, we all know what fighters go through. For you to even decide to be a fighter, there's a level of mental fortitude that you have automatically. That's already
Help.
established. However,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that he has that, elite mentality in terms of, okay, let's, when the going gets tough, just like you said, are you gonna bite down on a gumshoe and take a fight? You just look at what somebody like Fury did 2 weeks ago. A lot of people would have been knocked out in that ninth round, but
I'll tell you,
and I give it
check
to
it out.
Fury. I give it to Fury. He stood there. He was there. Whether you might want to say, okay, it's easier to quit to save your to not reduce your lifespan, right, and your brain cells. However, it takes a certain kind of mentality to even be a fighter in the first place. So
Mm-hmm.
it's neither here nor there. So yeah, I just don't think Kevin has it at a certain level at these at those higher ranks. I just don't think. But yeah, I'm still picking to win this one anyway. I'm still picking to win this one by submission. Yeah, yeah, still,
Submission. So,
yeah.
what
I'm
are the
picking to
odds?
bounce back.
Who's the favorite? Who's the favorite?
The favorite is
The match.
Kevin is the favorite in this one. That's the odds right there.
Wow.
Minus
Wow.
305 to plus 245. So he's also a bit wide as well. It's not a very close So you have about close to 100, you know, gap there. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
we'll see how that one pounds out in the end. So because this guy will be looking to take his ranking, as you can see here, Kevin is ranked number 15 in the middleweight division, and so
he's
this
15
guy
in
will be
welterweight.
looking to in this
Kevin is
his
15 in.
middleweight.
Is it,
Wait. So
he's
this
ranked
fight
in
is
the
actually back
welterweight?
at
Yeah,
middleweight.
yeah, back at
This
middleweight.
you
Yeah,
see,
but Kevin is in
that's another thing
welterweight.
he keeps
It's
doing.
not
You know,
even
he keeps.
serious. He's flocking.
It's
He
not a
fluctuates
consistent. I
between.
didn't even know that this fight was at middleweight. You see, I had no clue. You know, so yeah, and you can't really make a run if you keep doing this, right? Keep fighting at different weight classes, jumping up and coming down, and like you said, he's just there to make the money and go home. And yeah,
But
so anyway,
the only person who's been able to make a run towards title contention, jumping between weight classes, has been Hamza Chimaev.
yeah, well, but then where's the title shot in the end, though?
Huh? Do you
He,
know
he, he
that
hasn't gotten a title shot yet. So, yeah,
okay, so
yeah,
there are circumstances around that. You know, word on the street is that Hamzat is not able to fight in the US currently due to
yeah.
certain, visa related issues, right? Due to his
Mm,
association with certain people in Russia. But word on the street is that Hamza was one of the names that was offered to Leon Edwards, when we're
mm.
proposing UFC 300.
In 300, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Anyway, well,
apparently
I don't know
we'll
where
see
this
him.
street is located. This what? There's a this street. Where is this street? We'll never know,
One of
I
the
guess.
streets in Vegas.
Well, let's move on to some more interesting matchups here. Guys that are very familiar, right? That we're very familiar with, that we can sort of talk about.
Whoa.
Interesting characters,
Whoa.
people that we know. We don't even need to look at the stats to, discuss these guys. You
You
know, Sean,
show that. Show that to the audience.
Sean the Savage Strickland versus Paulo Secret Juice Costa. You know,
Bohashina.
it doesn't get better than
Bo-
this.
Bohashina.
It
Whoa.
doesn't get better than this.
This one is a tough one.
What are your thoughts on this one, bro?
Hmm. Style for style, I think Strickland demolishes Costa, right?
Mm,
However, I think Costa is coming in with like a different kind of motivation. He really, really wants that title shot. He really wants it. But at this point,
yeah.
Strickland has done the best he can do with his career already. Like he's
Mm,
already been champion, right? And
yeah.
judging from his demeanor, right, so far, he is that kind of guy that just enjoys the sport and keeps getting better at what he does. But he
Yeah.
never had that hunger for becoming champion.
Yeah. It came to
it
him,
was
right?
just
It came to him. Yeah.
opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah. 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 I agree with
Are
you.
you
Yeah.
are you calling success? So with this kind of situation, I think Costa is more hungry for this fight, but Strickland is more skilled. So it's a matter of hunger versus
Skill.
uh skill.
Mm,
And whenever you have two fighters that get into deep waters, let's say get into the championship rounds, I think hunger becomes stronger than skill.
mm.
So I think if this fight gets into rounds 4 and 5, Paulo Costa might, pull something out of the bag, out of the secret juice can that we don't know. But
Yeah.
Strickland has more experience. He's more battle tested. Yeah,
I was gonna say
he's
that.
more battle
Yeah.
tested, and I think Strickland
Even
has the
though
better cardio.
Mm. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that as well. Yeah, good
Yeah,
observation. Yeah,
Strickland has better cardio
I think so.
because
Hmm.
Paulo Costa is more muscular, and your muscles uh, affect your cardio, makes you gas out, faster, easier.
Mm.
Yeah, if I were to pick somebody, right, I put my money, I think I'll go with Strickland.
Yeah,
I think
I mean, look
Strickland
at
beats him
these stats here.
8 times out of 10 times. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, look at this stat here. So look at the defense, takedown defense here. This is an interesting one because it tells a story, right, about these two guys. It's difficult to take them down. I think that's the story. That's a summary of that little stat there. They are
You're going to see a striking battle
they are
between
both
them. I don't.
exactly. They are both like 80% takedown defense. So this fight is going to be a straight up standing fight with those leg kicks of Costa. Because don't forget, those are the things that he leads with. He leads with those leg kicks. That for whatever reason he couldn't do that with Easy. He
Easy was the one chopping his legs. That's why
chopping
I was
his
smiling.
leg
I was just waiting
exactly. I
for you.
mean, being a kickboxer himself anyway. So yeah. So it's gonna lead with those leg kicks. But then again, Sean, we've seen how unfortunately Sean walked our man down in that fight, and
I'm
just
telling you.
just so I think Easy has the Sean has the advantage with the hands, but Costa has the advantage with the legs. So which one is going to take precedence? And I also think that Costa hits harder. He punches harder as well. So where's the balance? Where is he gonna? Who's gonna take this one? And I'm gonna go the opposite, bro. I think that Costa, like you said, Costa has. There's this new motivation that he has. Let me just pull up his stats here. He's on a bit of a difficult one. His journey recently has been difficult. He hasn't had the best of runs. His most recent win was Rockhold. Who we
Mhm.
know is
He was on his way out.
on his way out. So
And he lost
I
to Robert
think
Whittaker.
he has to come back in this one. I think I'm gonna go for a finish actually. I think Costa just puts it on him early because that's the chance he has. Because if the fight goes into the championship rounds, I think Sean will eventually win. And if it goes to the distance, I think Sean will win on. So I think Costa's chance to win this one is to put it on this guy and try and TKO him early on. First,
Maybe
second
round
round.
1 or round 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because
that's my
if it extends
prediction.
beyond
And
round 3,
it could be round 3 as well. Yeah, it could be round 3 as well. Um, yeah, that's why I think Costa wins. Not because he's the better fighter, but because of other factors, motivation. I think he wants to sort of get, and Strickland is number one, so you have a straight chance if you remove the number one in the division. You have a straight chance of fighting for the title next. You know,
exactly.
so
He just be chilling and waiting for his title shot.
so I think Costa wins this one. Um, And if you look at the line as well, the money line is not wide, it's not too wide. It's pretty balanced. The gap is not so wide. So the bookies recognize that fact as well. Um, yeah. So
Hmm.
my
The
brother, let
main
us,
event. Drum
let
rolls.
Omo, hmm,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you all have
brother,
been waiting for. 5 rounds. The UFC Lightweight. Wow. It's crazy.
that record. So, man, the main
Hmm.
event of the evening. The main event of the evening. Um, who wins this fight? Let's start from here. Let's just start from who wins this fight before we break it down.
Whoa. Ah. I'm sad. I'm sad for this one. I am really, really sad for this one. Okay, quick one. I think. Okay. I want Poirier to win, but I think Islam wins. It's it's a really tough one because I think Poirier needs it more because this is literally his last fight, right? And with the kind of career he's had, he's been undisputed. Sorry, he's been interim, right? But undisputed, he's just been these, inches away from it. But, he lost to Oliveira, lost to Khabib for the undisputed. So this would be like his third title opportunity.
Wait,
No.
It's his fault. I think he's fought for the title for 3 times. I think Khabib, Oliveira. Hasn't he fought Islam before?
No, he's not fought Islam before.
I need to check.
Yeah, he won the interim title.
Yeah, but I know he was interim champ.
Yeah, he was interim champ, right? At some point. So this is his third attempt. So maybe third time lucky. Might just third time lucky. Who knows? Because if you collect, he fought for the title against Khabib. He won the interim against Max Holloway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he won the interim against Max Holloway. He lost the unification fight against Khabib, right? And then he went on a run. He beat Dan Hooker, beat Conor McGregor twice, and then lost to Oliveira for the title. He came back. He beat Michael Chandler, lost to Gaethje, in the BMF. And then, he was able to beat BSD, Benoit Saint-Denis. Like, that's fight, I was really scared for him because Benoit Saint-Denis is a beast. And, things just aligned for him. He wouldn't be in this conversation if Gaethje had not lost. Because Gaethje was a clear-cut, number one title contender. But I think Max Holloway did him a favor, beating Gaethje, putting Gaethje out of the the conversation, and then he was just the next in line. So I feel like with the way everything has just lined up for him, it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
That should have a fairy tale ending. You see, like he wasn't the one that was meant to be fighting for this title. I hope you knew. He wasn't the one.
Yeah, three things had to happen. He's been analyzed. 3 things had to happen for him to be here, and those 3 things came together, which is Gaethje getting out of the equation, him winning against Saint-Denis, and then the last one, Aman Sarukian losing against Oliveira, right? No, Aman Sarukian beating Oliveira.
Yeah.
Yes, Oliveira losing, exactly. So those 3 things had to. So could it be just
that everything is just
aligning for him? We'll find out later tonight. So that's why you need to tune into this. Tune in, and that's why you need to watch these fights. These are some very cracking fights. Let's just get into the stats a little bit here in terms of like what these guys have done. So Islam is known as the successor, the natural successor to Khabib, who is the GOAT, one of the GOATs of MMA, right? 25-1-0 record against Dustin's 38-0. In terms of height, funny enough, actually, Islam is just 1 inch taller than Dustin at 5'10", and Dustin's 5'9". Uh, so Dustin has a longer reach, 1.5-inch advantage, and then their leg is so. In terms of, there aren't any significant, maybe this one is tall, this one. There aren't any significant like advantages for this
Physical
one. Is
advantages. Hmm.
physical advantages, obviously the advantage in terms of grappling, wrestling, and all
Ah,
this, you know. I think on a stand-up, Dustin probably has the advantage, but on the ground,
definitely.
obviously Islam has the advantage. So how is this fight going to play out, in your own opinion?
Hmm. I think Islam will be looking to take the fight to the ground, trying to get into those clinch situations, try to bring his, trips and everything. But I know that Dustin and his team would have done a really great job, right? Trying to prepare for those kind of situations. There's a lot of tape, there's a lot of film on Islam and the way he fights.
Yeah.
Uh, I think Dustin gets this one. I want him to get this one, and it's going to be Dustin by knockout.
By knockout.
Remember, Makhachev, his one and only loss was a knockout against Adriano Martinez, right? I
Mhm.
think Dustin Poirier was like, oh, he was going to bring that guy to his corner.
I don't know.
Right,
Did he
so,
bring the guy to his corner? I don't know.
we will find out. We'll find out, right? We will find out. But I think, from that time to now, Islam is not that same fighter. He is improved tremendously in terms of his
Yeah.
striking. But I think, there are situations in which if you are a grappler and you're always trying to utilize that advantage, a well-seasoned striker can take advantage. He can set traps, set traps for you, just like what Easy did with it was this I forgot his name. This wrestler that was a gatekeeper for a while before he went to, I think he went to PFL. The black
Is
guy.
it Romero? No, not Romero.
No.
Wrestler. I don't know who. I don't know who.
He was an NCAA wrestler. The guy that was telling Easy, "You're too skinny, bro."
Oh,
I
remember that
the
phrase.
muscular guy. Oh, what's his
Is it
name?
not Romero?
Not
No, Romero is not
Romero.
his wrestler. Romero went to Bellator. It wasn't PFL.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I remember his name over time, right? He's American, NCAA
Okay.
wrestler. But then Easy set a trap for him. He was gunning for the takedown, and then he hit him with the knee and outclassed the guy. So I think something similar is going to happen. I want Dustin to win that fight, even though I love Islam, I love Khabib. Dustin needs this one more, and I think he would have drilled a lot for this. So Dustin catches him, maybe second round. And
Okay, so thank you for that prediction. Okay, thank you very much for that prediction. But wait, I now tell you, okay, Demola, stake your your account, all the money in your account, all your assets, everything.
No.
Stake it on this fight. Who are you going
Not
to
all
stake
the
it
money
on?
back out.
Is a different thing saying, oh, I think Dustin will win. But now I'm asking you, stake everything you own on this fight. Who are you going to stake your house? Stake your papa house on top this fight. Who you go? Who you go?
Abstinence is the best
Who you go
policy.
choose?
Abstain. Oh, I think the guy I was talking about is Derek Brunson.
Oh, okay, Bronson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
The Bronson. Yeah, I remember him.
You remember Derek Brunson? Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, I mean, that's it for the UFC. So, Demola has given his prediction. For me, I think, I mean, just like Easy said he wants Dustin to win. That his heart tells him, he wants this person to win. But then again, if you look at it, fuck it, I'm going with Dustin. Dustin Poirier to knock this guy out. Knock this guy out and cement that legacy. Honestly, I like Dustin. I like him as a person. I think he's a family guy. He's a good guy. He doesn't just, he's not one of these guys that are rash, that come up and just, act anyhow,
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he's a good role model for young people. He's out there, he has his charity, he has his businesses, his hot sauce businesses and all these things. So he's one of those guys that you want to look up to, you want to emulate in a way. If you're a young fighter and you want somebody to, someone like that, you can see that he puts his all into the fight. So I actually want him to win in a way, to sort of at least to hold that belt and maybe walk away right off into the sunset and just enjoy. So but let's see what happens.
And then become,
Let's
it's just a fairy tale. If he wins, he's going to become the number one pound for pound.
yeah.
You're missing the number one pound for pound. You're missing the lightweight champion. I think when he wins, let me stop saying if he wins. That when he wins, I would like him, in his post-fight speech to do like Khabib and say, "I want to ask for one thing: rank me at number one pound for pound. I think I deserve this." So I think he should ask for that and right off into the sunset.
All right, nice. Interesting. So that wraps up UFC 200 for us. So obviously, I know you can't wait to see the fights later on. I can't wait as well to see the fights later on in the night. And let's just move on quickly. Let's move on swiftly. But before we move on, let me just play a little something for us. All right. Welcome back. So now we're moving on swiftly to the 5 versus 5 card. Oh,
That's another massive event.
Yeah, again, let's just talk a bit. I know we've spoken about this Saudi thing. We've spoken about it, here and there. What are your thoughts on the involvement of the Saudis in not just boxing, but sports in general? Because don't forget, it's not
sports
they
generally.
are in football, they are in boxing, they are in not rugby, golf, they are in snooker, they are in there's this other fight, so many sports. These guys are just what again? Just what are your thoughts on the involvement of the Saudis in sports in general?
I said this before and I will say it again, right? I think the Sheikh deserves to be in the Boxing Hall of Fame already because he has literally saved the sport from the jaws of extinction. Boxing was a dying sport, right? It was literally going into extinction, especially with the influence of the UFC. Just before we started this recording, we were talking about how the UFC started becoming like the dominant combat sport, and with the packaging of the UFC and with the fact that it is mixed martial arts, it's everything you want to see in combat sports, right? You have striking, you have wrestling, you have grappling, and you have good packaging, right? Good production.
Yeah.
What do you expect? It's going to just catch the attention of people. But mind you, boxing is that sweet science, is that sport. It has a long history, long tradition, long culture. It's difficult to just pack
Yes.
something away that has been in existence for so long. And that's why you see bare knuckle boxing, for example, bare knuckle fighting. I interviewed their president. He was talking about
Mm.
how they sell holy shit moments, right? But one thing that is, really, he said something. They are the fastest growing sports organization in the world, and it is simply because they were able to package something that has been long in existence, right, and present it to the world.
No.
That being said, boxing was saved by this man. You see how a lot of the best of the best do not want to fight the best. And when
Mm-hmm.
you have a sport in which people are ducking each other, the competition um, feel, the competition, thrill is absent. And that is what you want as a fan of a sport. You want to see the best compete against the best, not people padding records, beating tomato cans here and there, right?
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
in this 5 for 5, you see guys with less than records of less than 20 fighting against themselves, probably like 14, 11, fight. But before now, you used to see a situation where those guys would have padded their records up to like 29 and 0, 30 and 0, 40s. I think Deontay Wilder at some point was like 41 and 0.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Mm. And sometimes you
But
see people with that
now,
kind of record, and they haven't really fought anybody that you can
like,
that you
when
know.
you check it, like, who are the people you fought? Like, if that guy
Mm.
came to my flat and says, "Oh, he's a plumber from my housing agency," I'm like, "Okay, okay, come fix the thing." Right? Those padded records are crazy because I don't know you. I'm sorry. I don't know you. But
Oh,
Turkey, Sheikh Turkey, he's done a great job. The
yeah,
influence is massive.
kudos to
Big ups to him.
honestly, kudos to and you can see one thing I admire as well. Just like in this 5v5, it's a new concept. And when you listen to Eddie Hearn and Frank talk about how he came about, it was his idea.
Yeah, I
It was
was
his
in that press
idea.
conference. Mind you, I was
You
at the
know.
press conference in London. He was sitting. I was down. He was sitting at the balcony, and then he was just making jokes and making everybody laugh. And then he pointed at Frank Warren and said, "I want your fighters to face Eddie Hearn's fighters. 5, on your
Yeah.
side and 5 on the other side." I looked at it, I was like, this man has come again with his, with his jokes. But I
Yeah.
never knew
Yeah.
he was serious. Well, it's great. It
Yeah.
feels surreal to have been there when this idea
When it was
came
announced,
out. I was in the room.
so you were part of this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was part of history, my bro.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
a fantastic
it's
one.
interesting, and honestly, kudos to him. The other day I was listening to Talksport, and he called in into Talksport and invited Simon Jordan and Jim White to Saudi for this fight. I mean, and obviously, if you know what went on between Simon Jordan and Tyson Fury banned Talksport from covering his fights. So, but Turkey himself called into Talksport's show and invited them to come over. So the guy
Wow.
building bridges, bringing people together. Eddie Hearn has also
Mhm.
talked a lot about how he hadn't seen Frank Warren in 15 years of him being a promoter, despite the fact that Frank Warren and his father, Barry, has history in many
Mhm.
different things, and they knew each other, from way back. So this rivalry is not just about Matchroom versus Queensberry. It's also like Hen versus Warren, kind of battle. So
Mhm. Mhm.
it's a huge
Building
job. I mean,
bridges.
Yeah, for the viewers,
And
as we're
uniting the
just building
sport. Yeah, he's
context.
uniting the sport.
hmm
Yeah.
We're just building context and sort of so that you can understand why this is an interesting sort of proposition, and it's something that is new as well for two promoters to sort of come. So I mean, let's just dive deep into it. So on this card, termed the 5v5. As you can see here, I'm not sure I can play this. I can't play this video to its entirety. But anyway, but there are 6 fights on the card. Obviously, we also have Dimitri Bivol versus Malik Zinad. And this one is for Bivol's WBA light heavyweight title. Obviously, this was supposed to be Betabiev versus Bivol, but Betabiev had an injury, and then in came Malik Zinad in this one. But we're more interested today on the 5v5. We're starting with
Mhm.
Willie Hutchinson versus Craig Richards. So this is for the light heavyweight title of the world, light heavyweight belt. I think it's vacant. I don't know if it's vacant. Is this a vacant belt? I need to find out. Um, that's the first fight on the card, and I think
Yeah, the Willie Hutchinson,
and
the Scottish guy.
Willie Hutchinson is Scottish, and this other guy
Yeah,
is representing Matchroom. So in this
yeah. I think
one,
Willie is the current.
Craig
He's the current
Richards,
WBC light heavyweight title holder.
light heavy. Okay, yeah, nice. So obviously Willie is for Queensberry for Frank, and Craig Richards is for. I mean, Craig Richards has fought for but I think he has just 2 losses on his record, from what I
Mhm. And
I gather. Craig
to big
Richards,
boys, to big
and
boys, to
those two
Bivol
losses
and
were
Josh.
against top guys. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
those two
like
losses were
no.
against top guys before.
Sorry,
So
he has
he's
three
not.
losses actually. 3 losses.
Is it
Yeah,
three?
3 losses on his
That
record.
means maybe
3 losses.
two of it was against this one person, isn't it? Right?
No, he lost to Frank Buglioni way earlier in his
Okay.
career. Yeah.
Yeah. Record of
Then like
18-3, 18-3 and 1.
yeah, he had a
11
draw.
of those ones being knockout. So this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, I've listened to a lot of people on the zone break down these fights, and some people have said, "Oh, it's going to be a clear out for Queensberry." Some people have said it's going to be like, but one thing that I've noticed is that no one has really outrightly given Matchroom like the advantage, which I find a bit strange. But I don't know.
We'll
I don't know
find
what
out.
you think. What do you what do you think about this one?
To be honest, Red, I feel like these fights are sort of evenly matched, like more evenly matched than fans would
Mm,
think.
think,
Given this one, right, this Scottish guy, I've heard about him before. He's been on a tier, right? But when you think about the quality of opposition, the strength of schedule, right? The only like really tough guy I've seen that he's fought recent time is this Ezekiel Badena. But you see some of the like the English, this black English boy, right? He's fought
mm,
really tough opposition, really, really tough opposition. Craig and Richards. He's fought Joshua Boati. Interestingly, I interviewed what's his name? I interviewed Ryan Ford, right? Ford fought Joshua Boati,
yeah,
right?
that's true. Ramford has
And
been on your channel.
yeah,
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 Ramford
yeah,
is on this card, isn't it? Yeah.
he's been on my show, right? And he fought Joshua Boati here in London, and it was a really, really tough fight. But Joshua Boati, beat him,
Not the same person.
right? So, and this is somebody who was a world champion. Look at Dimitri
Yeah.
Bivol as well. Brian Ford was telling me about Bivol, right? That Bivol is a beast. His part, Bivol, his part. Beterbiev, right? Bivol is a volume puncher, and
Yeah.
he was able to take this guy, all rounds. Although it was a unanimous
Hello,
decision for
darlings.
Bivol.
Can't
His
help
his
Mm.
fought.
Futuristic scooters, old school.
Yeah. Sorry.
Technology, technology. But then
Yeah.
when I look at the quality of opposition, right, I feel like Richards has the advantage. I'll I'll go for him. I think I'm on the
You're
Great
going
Richards
for
side.
Richards, right?
Yeah, I'm going for Richards. He's battle
Yeah, I think
tested,
so
and
too.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it when the person is battle tested.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I think so too. And based on everything I've looked at like the quality of opposition, kind of opposition that Greg Richards has faced and had those adversities. Yeah, I think in a way you would say must have prepared him for an occasion like this. Um, so it's an interesting one. Yeah, obviously we'll see. We'll find out, right? Later on today. And we're just gonna move on. Let's move on swiftly to the second fight on the card. Raymond Ford versus Nick Ball. So these two guys are. I don't know if you watched the last. I think it was on the undercard of Joshua versus Ngannou. Nick Ball against Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas, a Mexican WBC champion in this same division, featherweight. My God. So the height difference was massive. So Nick Ball is this very small guy. He's. uh, I would say,
Classic
I would say
featherweight.
short. I would
Yeah, but
say
it was
short
a
guy.
draw.
Yeah, it was exactly. But in my opinion, Nick Ball won that fight. So the first 6 rounds went to Ray Vargas. From the 7th round to the 12th, Nick Boo just ran the guy down. He just chased him down. Despite the advantage, you could see he was punching. Oh my God, the guy is a machine. I don't know how he did not. The judges, in my opinion, the judges robbed him in that fight because I think he won that fight. Yeah, I think he did get a knockdown. He was supposed to be 2 or 3 knockdowns, but the ref said no. Ray Vargas was using all types of antics. He was spitting out his gum shield.
It's
He
gonna
was
shoot.
just falling, just using all manner of tactics to try to get away from the guy. He could have been deducted a point that would make. In my opinion, Nick Bo won that fight. So Nick Bo is fighting this American guy today, Ray Ford. So this time is for the WBA title. And in my opinion,
Yeah.
Nick Bo
And
fights for
Raymond Ford is
Queensberry.
the holder, is the title holder.
Yes, yes. Honestly, I haven't really seen Ray Ford fight, so I might be a bit biased here. It might be based on recency bias or whatever. But in my opinion, I think Nick Bo wins this fight. Um, I think he wins it. I think he just grinds this guy down and just they call him the wrecking ball. The guy is oh my God, the guy is really good. I think you should watch this fight. Make sure you watch because this one will be yeah,
I,
it
I
might be
I
fight of the
have to
night.
try to.
This one might be the fight of the
Yeah.
night. Do you have any thoughts
But
on
come
this
to think
one,
about
or
it,
should we just move on?
thoughts on this fight. I think they are evenly matched, to be honest, right? It's a
Mm,
50-50. And you going with Nick Ball is making me solidify my advocate position of wanting to go for Raymond Ford, right? Because Raymond Ford
mm,
has also like fought, quality oppositions. I like it when fighters have been able to test themselves against European fighters, especially guys from Russia, Ukraine, the Soviet bloc basically, because they have a really really
yeah,
strong tradition of boxing in these countries. So and I think he was a Golden Gloves champion. That Golden Gloves competition is the league test of if you elite, in boxing in America. So that being said, I think I would go for Raymond Ford. Yeah,
Raymond
I will be
Ford.
siding with Raymond Ford.
All right. I mean, it's good that at least we can both take. So I mean, obviously we'll be compiling the scores as it goes on tonight, and we'll see how this one goes. I mean, I don't know if we can both agree on the Dimitri Bivol versus Malik Zina fight. I think in this one, Bivol will retain his belt. In this one, he's just gonna,
That's a no
he's
brainer
just
for me.
this
I
fight.
will be for my bro.
Yeah, he's just gonna win this fight, and he's just gonna move on to the next, and he will wait for better behavior probably later on in the year for the fight we actually wanted to see, because that was the fight that I actually wanted to watch. Because Otto Beterbiev is on another level. Like that's a that's a fight I actually really wanted to see. So there's no point wasting time talking about this one. So we're just gonna move on to Hamza Shiraz versus Austin Williams. I mean, these two guys are both undefeated. Hamza Shiraz is the
Another
captain.
see
So
that
have you gone through the rules of this event? So the
of
captains
the
get
rules of
2 points. The
oh yeah,
captains get double points for a
I saw a
win.
briefing. Yeah, I
Yeah, the captains get double points, and if they're able to knock their opponent out, they get double, which is 4 points. A knockout is 4 points for a captain. So it's one of these situations where, as a captain, you might hold the key to your team winning. You know, so and Hamza Shiraz is the captain for Queensberry, and Austin Williams is fighting uh for Matchroom, and this is a middleweight
for my friend.
fight. Both undefeated guys, both sort of not yet there, but this might be like an eliminator for maybe one of the belts later on. Do you have any thoughts on this fight?
16 and 0 versus 19 and 0. Somebody has to go.
Yeah,
If I pick somebody, I think I would be going for Hamza Shiraz. I think he has more quality opposition. He's fought, tougher guys. Liam Williams, you're a macho fan of, right? So I don't know. When it comes to boxing, I respect, the Russians, the Ukrainians a lot. I feel like boxing is a tradition for them. It's more than just a sport. And if you
yeah,
are
yeah,
able to, just like in MMA, if you're able to beat the Dagestanis, I think your stock goes up.
yeah. True, though. True, true.
Yeah. So that is the way it is, for boxing. I think Hamza Shiraz,
Mm.
he's been battled head against this guy. And I give him he's got the edge, you know. And I think he's
Yeah,
fighting for Queensberry, right?
yeah. Hamza Shiraz is representing Queensberry, and
Yeah.
Austin Williams is representing Matchroom. Yeah, so I mean, when you look at
He's
all
got
these things, that's why some people will tell you that it seems like Queensberry have the better fighter. For instance, the last two guys we mentioned here are for Nick Bo. And I've seen Nick Bo fight, and I can tell you, I think he wins that fight. Hamza as well. I mean, for Frank to make him his captain and everything gives you, So yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's just move on. Yeah, for my own prediction as well, I think I think Hamza wins as well. Um yeah, I think he also wins this one. But maybe not by knockout. Probably he might go the distance and to the judges. So 2 points here. Let's move on to the heavy. I mean, we all love a heavyweight fight, don't we? We all love a heavyweight
uh,
fight, whereby if someone
everyone loves
gets
the heavyweight
gets
fight,
pinned,
man.
it's over. So Daniel Dubois here versus Filip Hegovic. What are your thoughts on this one?
Wow. Dana Dubois. I used to think he was the next big thing, for British boxing. But I think he still has a lot of potentials. He's been able to test himself against someone like Usyk, for example. Now he had this belly shot, right? A controversial belly shot, because for me, I feel like that shot
Yeah,
was, yeah, I think it was just on the belt line. I feel like the trunks, the belt was too high. I feel that
yeah,
was a legit shot. And if that shot was counted as a legit shot, we won't be seeing Daniel Dubois in the same light that we see him today.
yeah.
if that makes
I
sense,
agree.
right?
I agree. I've seen that thing too. I think he was also on the line. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but a lot of people think because Begovic is undefeated, beating Zhali Zhang, has beaten a lot of top guys, right? And imagine Zhali
Mm.
Zhang is even in the main event, and he's in the co-main event. You can just imagine. Yeah, no disrespect to Hegovic. He is, he's tough as nails. He's top of the food chain, right? But I think I'll give the edge to that. With that loss to Usyk, he's become really, really hungry, and he's young. He's younger. Look at
Yeah.
the age advantage. How old is Hegovic? He's
Yeah.
31.
Hegovic is getting older now. Yeah. Yeah. The boy is
Yeah,
way
it's
younger than
getting
Hegovic.
older.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel because of the age advantage, right? The hunger.
No, Hegovic
I
is
think
actually
Dubois.
31. 31.
Yeah, 31. Dubois is
And
26.
yeah. Well, that guy is huge
He's just-
for 26.
yeah,
Guy
and
is
he's
huge.
yeah, and he's still improving. He's still improving.
Hmm.
So I'll give the edge
He's
to Dubois.
huge.
I'm rocking with Dubois. I'm with Dubois, but who are you going with?
Yeah, I mean, if you truly now now that I'm breaking down these fights, yeah, and going a bit deep, looking at some of their, I'm seeing why people are saying Queensberry might clear this thing out. Um, I mean, Philip Hegovic he's been around for a long time. He's been number one contender for is it the WBC or for a long time. He's been around. His name has been there. We've heard of him for a very, very long time, and for him not to have achieved the level that an Usyk now has come on and just come on from the
Taking
cruiserweight
over
to,
everywhere
and for
to
him not
clear
to
the
have, there's
heavyweight.
a reason. Yeah, there's a reason for that. And honestly, just so that I don't talk too much. We're running out of time. Um, I'm just gonna go with Daniel Dubois as well. I think Daniel Dubois and
Whoa!
this is just my yeah.
Go with the crowd. Come on, go with the general
Yeah,
consensus.
yeah, I saw during their weigh-in yesterday, or was it? Yeah, the weigh-in yesterday. I just saw something in Daniel Dubois' eyes that he's pumped, he's fired up for this. You can see that he wants it. And I'm not sure that Hegovic has the same level of, and they have a history. So it was said that a long time ago, in sparring, Hegovic sort of injured Dubois and took him to hospital. He had to be rushed to hospital,
Oh,
emergency, a long
yeah.
time ago. So, people are asking psychologically, where will Daniel Dubois' head be based off of that knowledge? But this is something that has got happened.
Yeah.
So, I really don't think. I mean, I think if there's anything, he's gonna have that revenge in him, and he's gonna let his hands go, because that's one thing that Dubois has been sort of accused of in the past, that he's just gone shy. He just
Yeah.
doesn't
He
know
was
how to
gunshot
let
against
his
Usyk
hands
as
go.
well.
He doesn't
Yeah.
exactly. He doesn't know how to let his hands go
And he
with
has
those jabs,
heavy
throw
hands.
those jabs and set things. So exactly, because if he throws those hands on anybody will get slept. So Yeah, we'll see how this one. But yeah, I'll go with the boy as well because I think he has some level of confidence on him right now. Moving on to the main event of the
Of the
evening.
12 rounds.
If you're watching, please put a comment below if you want. If there's anything you want us to talk about, drop a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Please share the stream as well. We still have a very good event coming of football to dissect and analyze. And that's an area where I would say I'm even more of an expert. So let's just talk about the main event. What are your thoughts, bro? What are your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts on this one. There is only one bronze bomber. There is only one bronze bomber, and I'm going for the bronze bomber.
Squad!
Bomb squad! Bomb squad! I think
Man.
he's hungry. He's hungry. I'm pumped for this one. And of course he's lighter as well, so he's got the speed advantage. He's got Zhang has the power advantage, but make no mistake, Deontay Wilder can throw an angry man.
That's something I don't know if you can help me with this. It's something I didn't quite understand. I mean, the weight difference between the both of them is over 70 kg. Yesterday, Zhang weighed 282 kg.
Wow.
Pounds.
That's
sorry,
pounds. Yeah, so,
pounds, yeah.
So in kg, it's probably around like 35.
Weighed 214. That is massive. Over 70 pounds difference.
Yeah.
I don't know the thoughts behind that. You know?
And it's going to make him less. So I think that's a smart move. Yeah, that's a 1 kg difference, 31.75 kg thereabout difference, right? So that's not a smart move, I think.
From who? From Zhang or right? From Wilder?
From Zhang. I think that's not a smart move. You don't want to be.
Zhang has always weighed. He's always weighed heavy. If you go back to his listing, he's always weighed heavy. Oh, it seems like a lot of people have joined the stream now. Please drop your comments. We have about 9 people watching us now on the stream. Drop a comment on from the different platforms. Let's know your thoughts. What do you think about Zhang versus Wilder? Yeah, sorry, go on, King Debs.
Yeah, so I like I said, Wilder has a speed advantage, right? His hand speed, his foot speed, right? And then he's the volume. Yeah, as much as he's got that power, he can also be a volume puncher as well. So with a Zhang that is he's not very fast, right? He's always relying on that one shot stoppage, right? But you cannot hit what you cannot see. You can't hit what you cannot see, and that's the issue here. So Wilder, I think, is going to overwhelm him with a flurry of punches and his speed. And make no mistake, right? Wilder has bombs in those fists. So I don't see. I feel like we're going to see like an early stoppage. Something in like the first 4
what
rounds.
You said about Wilder and letting his hands go. And I mean, that doesn't seem like Wilder to me. He's never really been known as a technical boxer. He's generally been known as someone who just throws that bomb. So
have you seen him? Did you see his fight against Denzel Washington? Sorry, not is it? I said Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington. That'll
Sorry.
be an
So,
interesting
so
fight
is
to
it
watch.
some guy Washington? I've forgotten his name.
Was
Is it George
Yeah,
Washington
I
or
think
something?
I know who you're talking about.
Then there's another guy, Denzel something, right? He knocked this guy out in the first round, right?
Mhm.
Wilder is a beast. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Yeah, he fought Gerald Washington, right? And
Gerald Washington, yeah, yeah,
yeah, Gerald Washington. He beat him in the fifth round. He
fifth
fought
round.
Bermane Steven. Yeah, Bermane Steven was a former heavyweight champion, right? He beat him in the very first round. He has quite a number of like first round finishes. There's another guy, uh,
You're
Dominic
going back to
Brazil.
2017.
Dominic
We're going back
Brazil,
to
right?
2017 to find when Wilder was knocking guys out. I
No,
mean,
no,
we knew that.
I'm
That was,
saying, okay, let's go back to 2022. Robert Helenius, right? At least we know Helenius is no pushover, and he beat Helenius in the very first round. So, what do you have to say about that?
yeah,
Like, when Wilder is angry and motivated, right? He's very,
yeah,
very destructive. And remember, that was, coming off the two Tyson Fury losses. Now he's coming off another loss to Joseph Parker. So what I envision is, Wilder is just going to come out of the blocks and, start launching, his frustrations in life on, on Zhang. So I don't see
yeah.
it going beyond the first 5 rounds, to be honest. I think Wilder gets, a stoppage in the first 5 rounds. I'd be
Yeah,
happy to be proven wrong.
I agree with the prediction. I think Wilder wins the fight. First of all, just we agree on that. It's now the method that I don't know and when. Um, yeah, Zhang. I think Zhang coming in a bit heavy. Because I'm trying to read a meaning into why they've done what. Because obviously Wilder has decided to go really slim and because he wants to be able to move. He wants to be able to move around.
Hmm.
He wants to be sleek. He wants to be able
Hmm.
to punch and go, sort of be
I remember this is
flexible on
not
the feet.
MMA. This is not MMA where you
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
just clinch and, use your jiu-jitsu to or your
Mm,
wrestling to overpower that person. So if you are sleek with your movement in boxing, it's a big advantage for you. And that's the advantage that has been helping Usyk as well. So we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. I think that must have been that's his thought process going into it because he's massive and hopefully it pays out. And I think he will pay out for him. I think he's gonna win. Because based on even Eddie Hearn has been saying it as well that it might come down to this last fight for us to determine who wins the 5v5 in the end. Because, and I think I know why he's saying this. I think he's not necessarily very confident with some of the other guys, coming up, just like we have gone through. And we've mostly picked Queensberry guys to win, So, yeah, it might come down to this one. And yeah, it's an interesting one. The whole concept is very interesting. And
But
I
who are you
think
working with?
in the main event, I think Wilder. I'm going with Wilder. Yeah, I'm going with Wilder. I think he's gonna come back. The guy definitely has something. He was, don't forget this guy he was one of these guys that were feared for years, for a long time. People were like, man, don't go. Nobody wants that smoke.
The good, yeah.
Nobody wanted that smoke until Tyson Fury,
Tyson Fury.
went in there and
He
and
defused the bomb.
you know did what he did. So, but what people are asking is, does he still have it? Is he still the same guy? Don't forget, I think he's 38 this year. So he's not. I mean, well, you say Zhang is not so young as either. So it's not like, oh, he's a young guy facing an older. They're around the same age. I think Zhang is up to 40, isn't it?
I think
Um.
41, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, so yeah, Zhang is 41, and Wilder is in his late 30s. You know, 38. Yeah, so about 3 years. So Wilder is a younger guy here. So I pick Wilder to win. Actually, I pick Wilder to win this one, and by knockout and get those 4 points that might eventually change the dynamics of the night. Yeah, that's I believe, I don't know if you do, unless I have something else to add, that will wrap it up for the 5v5 card.
Whoa. Like, what are you going to take to be able to absorb all of these events today? I don't know how I'm going to keep up the energy. I literally do not know.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something you can take, but it will be offline. I'll tell you something offline.
Ah! Okay, I
There is
can't wait.
something. There's something to take offline. Well, I mean, if you, for those of you that have been on the stream since the beginning, I really appreciate you for being with us, keeping faith with us, and supporting us. Subscribe to the Kingdoms podcast. Subscribe to Chat with the Tycoon, and just follow us on our journey. Kingdoms has been releasing some interesting discussions lately. Just go on there and watch, subscribe, and share the channels, and yeah, follow us on this journey. We're gonna move on
Yeah,
to the
beautiful journey.
last item of the day, which
Item
is, I
7.
mean, items item 7. Yes, which is really an item that is just up my area. I mean, I used to play football right from when I was young. Football, we all know in Nigeria, football is like the main sport in Nigeria and everything. And the Champions League is one of those very, very big occasions, very, very big events. Yeah, Champions League nights are some of the best nights. Some of the best nights I've had in my life has been Champions League nights. And there's one team that has dominated the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League, and that team is playing tonight. What's your thoughts on this one, Demola?
I think when I was younger, right, I used to be a Real Madrid fan. So I used to love Real Madrid, used to love Manchester United, from the days of Beckham, Figo, Zinedine Zidane. And it's crazy to see the transition from the Galacticos era even down to the modern era, right? And see what Madrid has done with the Champions League. I don't know. At some point, people were like, "Oh, it was the Perez influence that made them, to keep winning the Champions League over and over again." I just feel like Madrid have this affinity to that cup. Just don't let them get to the final. I remember that final against Atletico Madrid, where Sergio Ramos literally saved them from the jaws of defeat. I think it was like the 90-something minute, and Sergio Ramos pulled up, a trick up his sleeves. I'm struggling to see how Madrid loses this one. I'm struggling to see how Madrid loses this one.
To be honest, me too. I think they're going to make it. Is it 16 now? I think they've. How many do they have?
I'm struggling. I'm struggling to see how they will possibly lose this one. But
honestly,
congratulations in advance to Real Madrid. Madrid stars out there. Hala Madrid, hala Madrid. You guys are just waiting. Champions in waiting.
Yeah, 14. So they've won it 14 times. I mean, nobody else comes close, right? Nobody else. The closest again is AC Milan, I think, who are 7 times winners.
AC Milan.
So
wow.
Basically double. So after AC Milan, then you find Bayern and Barcelona, who are on, I think, 5. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then you find
Man U has like 3.
Yeah, Man U on 3. Yeah. Man U on 3. Chelsea on 2. Man City 1. All those other teams, Dortmund 1,
Liverpool.
Marseille
How about
1,
Liverpool?
Porto. I forgot Liverpool. Liverpool are 6 or 5. Yeah, Liverpool 6. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think
after AC, I
they've
know
won the
it's
world
Real
times.
Madrid, AC Milan, Liverpool on 6, then Bayern, Barcelona on 5, then Man U, then all those other teams. Yeah. So it's basically their competition. No one comes close, and I mean, kudos to them. Kudos to them. I mean, if you go to Spain and see the passion of the people over there, then maybe it might give you context on how much they love football over there
Ah,
in Spain.
mass. I know. Football
This
is
promises to be an
a religion.
interesting fight, interesting match. You know, we're just gonna dive in a bit into some of the
No, I
players, the
guess
coaching. I
you
mean,
probably did not
okay,
talk about Juventus. Juventus have won it quite a number of
no,
times
Juventus
as
has
well.
never won the Champions League.
Oh,
Juventus has never won the
are you sure?
Champions
So that
No,
is I
mm,
think they have but that's like a long time
Juventus
ago. Yeah, they won in 1996. I remember.
latest entry,
Was this?
UEFA Cup. Yeah, well, they won the Cup Winners' Cup, which not sure they call it Champions League, but I know that Juventus has never won the Champions League.
Okay.
In
So I think there's a new format, right? Like, in
okay,
what year
wait,
did the
is it
current
two?
format of Champions
Okay,
League?
they've won two, but they won it as Cup Winners' Cup back in the day. So they've won two.
Oh.
I know they're still not close anyway. You know, um,
Then
yeah,
how about Ajax? Ajax, I think
yeah,
Kanu won it with
yeah,
them.
Ajax have won two as well. One. I mean, we're not about to go through who. I can even check UEFA uh, this thing here to know who has won how many. But I know that um, some of these teams haven't won a lot.
Mm.
You know,
It's quite
uh,
interesting that Dortmund have won it just once before.
yeah, Dortmund has won one Champions League. They've won one.
So are they about to make it to one in 1997?
Are they about to make it two? I mean, for anyone who is watching us, I would like to know your thoughts. I'd like to like you to tell us what you think, who you think will win. Um, you know, just gonna go through a little bit of analysis here and see. So Dortmund, um, this is like their stats, all right, and how they. I mean, Dortmund has been really good this season. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna commend them. Let me take this up before they. I'm gonna commend Dortmund really this season because no one really gave them a chance. I didn't give them a chance to go on and to get to this stage when there are teams like Man City, Bayern, Liverpool were in it. I think Arsenal, some of these other teams, good teams. So, what chance in the beginning did you give Dortmund to get to this stage?
If I'm very big fans.
That,
Thinking between Man City, Real Madrid. I was thinking PSG would have, had a run to the final, but it was funny how
yeah,
Dortmund even beat
PSG.
them in the group.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was quite a tough group, and Dortmund were top of their group. They had Dortmund, PSG, they had Milan, they had Newcastle, but Dortmund were top of that, that table. But Man City really coached everybody. They won all their group stage matches, right? Cruised to the semi-finals, but I think it was Real Madrid that eliminated them.
Mm.
Yeah, in semi-finals, it was Real Madrid that eliminated them.
Yeah, Real Madrid removed Man
Uh,
City.
Man City, because they were looking like they were going to make another run for the title. Well, I feel like if you beat Man City, then you up
Mm.
already. Like they were favorites, to be honest. So, but who else would I have probably given another chance to probably get into the final? I was thinking maybe Napoli or Bayern, because Bayern, they are always, those,
Ooh,
they're always in the run for it. Bayern Munich,
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
always in the run.
Man, they're always in and around that trophy for whatever reason. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
but
one
I
of
think
the they're one of the best
the
teams in
hurricane,
Europe.
the hurricane curse struck again.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people have been saying that
Oh my
like
goodness.
any team hurricane. This is the first time they're not winning the Bundesliga in a very long time.
What? They're not winning what? Sorry. It looks like your speaker has a bit
The
of an issue,
Bundesliga.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. I
yeah.
said,
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Madrid wins this. They've got Vinicius Junior, they've got Jude Bellingham, they've got. I mean, they have the players that can give you that has that X factor in the end. They have the players, that can give you that thing, and I can't even believe that they are adding Kylian Mbappe by next season as well. Like that team
it's an
is just
overkill.
insane.
It is an
Madrid,
over.
honestly,
It is an overkill. It is an overkill.
team is
Can you hear me better?
just incredible. Pardon?
Is my audio better now? Because I have switched my audio.
No, it's still cracking up a bit. Still cracking up a bit, but
Technology.
we go.
Tech is not teching today.
I'm telling you, my brother. I'm telling
But
you. Well, I mean, it's been interesting talking about some of these events, some of these fights, and of course, this big match today. It's been really, really interesting. I hope you've enjoyed previewing some of these things. We've spent close to 2 hours now on the stream, so I'll say we've tried.
how time flies, how time flies. But what event would you say you're most excited for today?
That was a good question. Oh man. See, my love for fights have grown over the years. I've always loved fighting, but I'm not gonna lie. Just based on the fact that it will happen within a space of 2 hours, I would say the Champions League final. Yeah, and just that intrigue to see. I mean, I have a player in Dortmund who is on loan from Man U, Sancho. I want to see, can he win it? Can Sancho go on and win the Champions League after going on
Sancho.
loan from Man United? Can he do it? He can, of course. He has the chance. And I'll be happy for him if he wins the Champions League in Dortmund. I'll be very happy for him because that would increase his value. And that would mean that when we're letting go of him this summer, we can get a bit more money for him.
It's
So,
going to be massive.
and then, of course, for him to win that trophy would be nice. So, yeah, I'm more excited about the Champions League final. Yeah, just to answer the question. How about
Interested.
you?
For me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm most excited about UFC 302. It's crazy how, as a child growing up, football was my number one sport, but I don't know, the UFC has just, they've just won me over. I think Dana White should reach out to me and let's start a partnership.
We've been saying this for
Oh,
a while now.
yeah, and let the word get on the streets and let it get to Dana White. Uncle Dana, I'm here. Let's
Uncle
go.
Dana, we're here. We're here. Bring us on board. Let's
Oh,
invite us to Las Vegas to the PI, to the UFC PI. Let's see what's going on there.
let's collaborate.
Yeah. I mean, you're interested about the UFC. I'm interested. Obviously, I will have my eyes everywhere. That's a fact. I'll have my eyes on all of them. Obviously, the game will start at 8 p.m. UK time, and it will end at like 10, so 2 hours. Before it starts and ends, I think, yeah, the main event obviously hasn't started in Riyadh, and then UFC hasn't started, so I will still have time to switch over. You know, these days, um, staying awake all through the night has become a norm for has become
As a
a
as a
norm for
European
me in a way.
UFC European UFC
Yeah.
fan.
So yeah. So it was nice having you on board, bro. Is there anything else that you'd love to add as we sign out?
Whoa, I think for me it's just, to thank our audience. It's been a long session. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. For me, it's bye.
Listen on the stream. Thank you very much for joining. Like I said, continue to support us. Like the video, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much to everyone that has supported us. It's been a very interesting afternoon, stroke evening, and we've enjoyed having you on. Thank you very much. Where can people, just before we leave, bro? Where can people find you? Your socials on.
Or on Instagram at king_James1. Twitter, same thing.
Okay. I mean, you can find me on my Instagram at I am Ebuka Tycoon, and you can also find me on X, Twitter as well, at Mr. Ebuka Obonna. Thank you very much. God bless. Have a good day. Enjoy the fights. Enjoy the match. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the evening. Whatever you're doing. If you're drinking, if you're doing anything, do it. If you're gambling, do it responsibly, please. And
Responsible.
take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.